What's up, NASCAR Heat fans? Welcome back to the 2017 update of NASCAR Heat Evolution. We are doing a 25% race here at Talladega Superspeedway in Bubba Wallace's Letios number 6 for Roush Fenway Racing. This should be an exciting race. The plate racing update should make this very interesting, along with the fact that I've turned the tire wear down as much as I can because I've been told that affects the plate racing in a negative way if you have the tire wear up. So it should be a very tightly bunched race here at Talladega. Let's see if I can drive from the back to the front in the Purple People Eater. Alright, so here we're ready to go here in the 2017 update of NASCAR Heat. A 25% race here at Talladega Superspeedway. This should be fairly interesting to see how this turns out. So we're going to get a big draft off of Austin Dillon down into turn number 1. And I'm pretty sure I just called him Austin Dillon. He's Ty Dillon in the Geico car. And we're falling back a little bit. That's not particularly good. I guess I should not have chosen the bottom lane. But at least we're over 200 miles an hour, which is better than I can say for the career mode, where we're usually limited to 188, which is not realistic pack speed. You can see the pack forming up fairly nicely here. We've got some three-wide action going on. We are going to have to, easy for me to say, make one stop during this race, and it will come within 10 laps to go. So it's essentially going to turn this thing into a fuel mileage race unless we get a yellow or something, which is certainly possible in this game, because yellows seem to come out at the most inopportune times possible in this game. So we're 3 wide in the middle, making it 4 wide now, which is probably ill-advised. So I'm going to back out of it just a little bit to be able to not get wrecked going into turn number 3. As you can see, I can barely hold my line on my own. So going 4 wide into a corner, not particularly the best option. But we are making some moves under Allmendinger and underneath Dillon, Ty Dillon. I got it right that time. Now a big draft off of D Burrito. Not really anywhere to go. Kyle Larson very accurately is running the high line, so high in fact that he was scraping the wall going into turn number 1. You may have noticed that. But there's not really anywhere for me to go. Now there is. They've opened up the bottom because they forgot in NASCAR Heat, or they realized in NASCAR Heat that blocking the bottom is pretty pointless because there is no yellow line rule in effect. So if somebody's going to pass you down low, they're going to do it no matter what. And quite a bit of movement there in the middle of the pack as we kind of moved, and so did Matt Kenseth, and so did Kyle Larson. We're just kind of following our Xfinity teammate Ryan Reed up kind of through the middle here of the field. And another big draft off of Reed into turn number 1. And we're just going to stay on the bottom here because the bottom lane generally, again, is the one that moves. So if you're on the bottom and you're patient, you can make your way to the front. And that's what we're going to try to do here. And are we going to make it 4 wide? Yeah, sure. I think this will work. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. Oh, no, that's... Uh-oh. That's a team meeting that's not going to go very well. Yeah, we did get a yellow for that, so that's good. Estimated fuel, 38 laps. Laps remaining, 44. Hey, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pit. Why did you pit, David? Well, I pitted because I'm pretty sure at this point I can now mileage it to theoretically win the race. We'll see. It will be close. There were other cars that pitted, obviously, as you saw, including Brad Keselowski. Back in the Brad car, because apparently the Miller Lite sponsorship does not transfer over to the 2017 update. Because, God forbid, somebody sees a beer advertisement while watching NASCAR. But we're back to racing. Holding our own as Daniel Suarez is behind us. Landon Castle goes around the outside. Brad Keselowski just to the outside, or just in front of us. They're 3 wide there. And in fact, all the Penske cars are back here. So the Penske's and I are on the same strategy, which may mean good things. as I lift off just a little bit underneath Jeb Burton. Or no, not Jeb Burton, Harrison Burton. I've been playing NASCAR 15 too much. And we're kind of trapped on the bottom here behind Keselowski. And do a little bit of bump drafting there. Are we going to make a Penske 3-wide race? No, because Brad's going to not play nice. He really didn't play nice there. Somebody go slap Brad's spotter for me. Or maybe it was Brad himself who decided not to give me any room going down there into turn number 1. So we'll go underneath the Konica Minolta car, which is not driven by a Taylor, ironically enough. Anybody who gets an IMSA reference, okay, that is revenge on Brad, and there's another big wreck. Are we going to get a yellow? Yes, we are, thankfully. Now everybody else is pitting. Should I pit? I don't think the damage is severe enough to warrant pitting. You know what, I'm still going to pit because why not? The only reason I came into the pits was A, because I could absolutely ensure that fuel mileage will no longer be a problem, but because there was enough damage on the car that I felt like, yeah, it's probably a good idea to come into the pits. I didn't change tires though, because it's really not necessary on a plate track. So we're back to green. We've effectively got our revenge on Brad Keselowski. So we don't need to bother with that anymore. Ryan Reed's back in front of us, who probably is not too pleased with the way I drove with him earlier. So let's do it again, shall we? Oh, we were right on the yellow line. But we don't need to deal with that, should we? Underneath Ryan Reed. And get into 33rd place. Yeah, we're in the Indy 500 now. But we're at Talladega, so that doesn't really make any sense. Big draft off of the 32 car there. Try to get around him. Alright, 3 wide. All the way down to the tri-oval. Big draft off of Harrison Burton. And we'll get to the inside of him, but is he going to play nice? Yeah, he's actually going to play nice, unlike Keselowski. Now we're behind the censored car. Or the, well, it's not censored, it probably should be, the Nature's Bakery car of Danica Patrick. A car that will never race, but it got all of the die-casts and all the merchandising. And now we're going underneath Austin Cindric and DJ Kennington. I know it's not DJ Kennington, those of you in the comments, but that's who I call him. And we're finally actually seeing some big stars up here. The stars are bright and big and bright, deep in the heart of the pack. And we're behind Casey Kane, trying to get around Kurt Busch in the Monster Energy car. The guy who has been pretty invisible since he won the Daytona 500. But he is in this race, and there's Eric Jones to the outside, as well as Jimmy Johnson. We're going to push Casey Kane through. Try to, anyway. I think that kind of slowed me down more than anything. All right, we'll go 3 wide with the Hendrick guys into turn number 3. And yes, we will get down into the corner and around them. And we are really flying right now. I'm actually kind of surprised how fast this car is moving through the field. There's still 30 laps to go, so we got a long way to go. The fact that we're breaking into the top half of the field is not a bad sign. We're also doing incredibly fast laps in the 49-second range, which is generally where the AI qualifying career mode in single car qualifying somehow. Not sure how that works out, but it does. Underneath Dale Jr., getting behind the 37 car of Chris Buescher. Not really anywhere to go, so we'll lift off just a little bit. I don't know who the heck that is leading the race. Maybe it's Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch leading the race, god darn. Wonder if he good your tire gonna go. So we're going underneath Martin Truex. For some reason, Landon Castle's up here. Whoever's in the 34 car. David Reagan. Well, actually, that makes sense. David Reagan is a former winner here at Talladega. In that car for that team. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. How did I save that? I don't know. These are the questions that keep me up at night. So we'll just block this lane and block that lane. block all 3 lanes, and we'll get a big draft off of Matt Tift and Chris Buescher. 205. Wow, that's quite a fast speed going into turn number 1. In fact, we blocked that second pack so effectively that they've actually broken off from this one. We're just going to keep moving around because we've got such a huge run that we're going to stall out right about here. And I may have made a bad decision by going all the way to the outside. It was a fast lap, though. Almost the fastest lap I've ever turned at this track. Not quite the fastest lap, but close to it. Why is there just one car leading by itself? Like, he should be swallowed up by the pack faster than you can say, well, what I just said. But for whatever reason, that car is leading. In fact, let's try to... Probably won't show it. No, it won't. What is even that menu? No, okay. For some reason, Chase Briscoe's up here. Whoa, 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 whoa. Well, that's the crash. That's a crash. Can we get a yellow for that? Can we get a yellow for... There we go. All right, thankfully. Well, the car was damaged enough that it was in my best interest to pit. So we fall out of the top 10 wherever we were running. And we're all the way back here in the back. But at least Kurt Busch or Kyle Busch, they're both there, so I get a pass on mispronouncing their name. But at least Kyle Busch is back here now. I am in an Xfinity paint scheme. So I expect that is why Kyle Busch was leading so convincingly. I think I confused the game. I kind of triggered their AI programming for Nationwide or Xfinity when they eventually add that to the game in 2020, when they've changed their name to something else. They've changed their name for the 500th time. The developers. I wonder what their next name will be for the game for 2018. I could see it being. I was trying to think of something clever and I couldn't think of anything clever. Studio. Alright, so I lost the draft. There's only one logical thing to do. Since this is NASCAR Heat, we're going to stop on the track. And we're going to turn around. And we're going to go this way. Now, will I get black flag for doing this? I predict I won't, but I bet I'll get a lucky dog when the yellow is brought out. Uh-oh, look out! Boom! Oh my gosh. Wow, that's a crash. Hey, guess what? I can pit and probably get back on the lead lap. Let's do it! Oh, I got the free pass, but I'm still on the lap down. How did that happen? Oh well. Oh, we're racing again. And let's continue to be dirty. 'Cause, I need to make up another lap. So I need to Harvick it here. And how do I Harvick it? Well, I've got to get up to some cars. I got to find the right target. And then cause a wreck that doesn't take me out, but takes a few other guys out. So let's go down here. All the way into turn 3. And we got one car. Oh wow, we got up in the air. And there's the caution. So now we can pit, and hopefully we'll get the free pass and finally get back on the lead lap. And we're back on the lead lap. How about that? So that's how you cheat your way back onto the lead lap in NASCAR Heat Evolution. And we're going green. Wouldn't that be funny if every person who fell laps down in a plate race just drove backwards to cause a yellow? And then caused enough crashes subsequently to get enough lucky dogs to be back on the lead lap? That would be hilarious. So we're finally back to green. There's a car that's completely lost the draft behind me. So if I do lose the draft again, I'll at least be able to draft off of whoever that is. In fact, I can check who that is. It's Kyle Larson. I've screwed over my favorite driver. Oh no. But anyway, we are back up into the pack here. And the pack is racing very hard right now. And hopefully that will mean I can take advantage here as we get run off the road by our teammate Ryan Reed. And then push Denny Hamlin up into De Benedetto. We're going to go 4 wide into turn 1. And somehow we're holding it together. Not really sure how, but whatever. Now down the back straightaway. Try to get up behind David Reagan there. And all the way down the back straightaway. Oops. Denny Hamlin, why you do that? Now into turn 3. Behind David Reagan. And then underneath David Reagan. Big draft off of the 17 car. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I saved it again. 10 laps to go. Can I make it to the front in 10 laps? Right now it's not looking too hot, but we'll have to wait and see. Had a big draft off of Logano. Go up there and draft with Briscoe. Draft off of De Benedetto. Oh, we're kind of sandwiched in the middle here. There we go. Big draft off of the 20 car. All the way down the back straightaway. And around the outside of Kyle Busch. Come on, car. And Kenseth is going to hold us up a little bit, so that's going to hinder my move forward at the moment. And Kenseth gets out of the way just a little bit. We're going to be in the middle going into turn 1, which I'm not really thrilled about, but I have to deal with it. The purple cars are going to help each other out because Denny Hamlin's helping me. And we get around both of those Gibbs cars. We got one more Gibbs car to go. And we're 3 wide again. And what's the best lane here to get through? We're stuck behind Chris Buescher. We're stuck behind Denny Hamlin. And we sneak in to the bottom lane, move up to the center lane to pull around Denny Hamlin and try to get that run on David Reagan, which we're going to do off of turn number 3. And bounce off the back of Trevor Bayne. As much as I'd like to run that extreme high line, I don't think it's really going to help here. Generally it doesn't. We're going to go through the middle again. Got 8 to go here. Another big draft off of Austin Dillon here. And DJ Kennington. Even though I know that's not DJ Kennington before you yell at me in the comments. But it's the 96 car and it's blue and white. And it was released at Daytona 500 time. And the last name starts with a K. So that's fine with me. We're trying to go to the outside. It's not working. Get in behind Kennington here. And try to go to the outside. Still not quite working. We're going to get a draft off of the 96 car. Still not able to make our way around. We're a bit stuck right now. To the outside, extreme outside, trying to get around. Trying to get that draft off of McMurray. It ain't working. So we're going to go down just a lane here. We can't go down 2 because there's more cars there. Now we'll get a big draft off of the 96 to the outside behind the McDonald's car. Makes me want a McFlurry. Now we get around the 96 car. Which is confusing because that used to be what the McDonald's car... No, it wasn't. Yeah, the McDonald's car actually did used to be 96. When Andy Houston drove it. Remember Andy Houston? Probably not. It's probably before the time of 99% of the people who are watching this video to this point. Now we get the behind, 2 behind. The 41 of Kurt Busch around the outside of the number 1 of Jamie McFlurry. Now we get behind the monster car. And can we make that move around the outside? Can we pull it off? Kurt Busch is moving up just a little bit, but he doesn't move around too much that it hinders my progress. Now I'm a little bit worried here on the outside of Chase Elliott. I'm not really thinking we're going to be able to make too big a move here. So I'll sneak in behind and actually make it all the way to the bottom. I was actually able to move Elliott up the track just a little bit there. Now we're underneath Keselowski, who races clean, kind of. Not really, at all. And behind Suarez and Jones, it's an Xfinity Series race. Might as well be, except for Kyle Busch isn't leading. Now we're behind Austin, Ty, Dillon, one of the Dillons, some Dillon, everywhere a Dillon, here a Dillon, there a Dillon, everywhere a Dillon. Now in between Cindric, and Cindric chops me off there for no reason. And we'll go through the middle. And a big draft behind the 31 car of Ryan Newman. Around McDowell. Can we get there? Can we get there? Not quite there. We can move between them. I think I've cleared McDowell. There we go. It's pretty bad when I can tell I'm clear before the spotter tells me. 4 laps to go. Trying to find some way to get around the 48 car. And now Landon Castle moves to the outside. Bad move on his part. It's going to allow me to the inside. Get a huge draft off of Harvick. Split the difference between the middle. Get behind Joey Gase. And around Harvick hopefully here. Big time side draft there. And can we make our way all the way up to the front of the pack? Another big draft off of the 47 of A.J. Allmendinger, bouncing off of Gase, the 23 car. Another big draft behind A.J. Humdinger. And then Paul Menard. 7 cars to pass. Can we do it? Can it be done? Can we win a race in NASCAR Heat legitimately on pace at a plate track? Big draft behind Allmendinger. To the inside of Allmendinger, 200 miles an hour, 204. Down into turn number 3. Another draft off of Dale Earnhardt Jr. who was running up at the front here. 3 cars ahead, then another 2 to pass here for the win. Coming up to, I believe, 2 laps to go. It may be very close. Big draft off of Dale Jr. Around the outside of Dale Jr. Can we make the pass? Keep our momentum. Momentum is going to be the key here to the end of this thing. Around the outside, trying to go around Casey Kane. We're not there yet, but we're actually helping him get up to the back of the 21 and the 14. Those are the 2 cars leading this thing. Around the outside of Casey Kane we go. And we've caught the back of the leaders. Coming up to the white flag at Talladega. It's going to be a crazy finish. Who's going to get it? Got the 21 car, Ryan Blaney. And Bowyer pits. Bowyer is out of fuel. It's a battle between Ryan Blaney and David Land driving the number 6. Bubba Wallace car. Letios sponsorship. Purple car. Wow, I did a 48 second lap. That's pretty incredible. I think I did that with 4 laps to go because I heard the spotter bark something, but I didn't know exactly what he said. So a big draft off of Ryan Blaney. Can we pull off this victory? It's Ford versus Ford. Wood Brothers versus Roush down the inside. This may have been too soon of a move. We're going to have to see. We're going to have to see. To the inside of Ryan Blaney. Can we clear him? Can we clear him? We can't clear him. Uh-oh. 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 We're going to run him up the track. Going to do some beating and banging here. Oh, it's going to be ridiculously close. He's going to win. Wow. And it looked like there was a wreck in the back, too. And I finally got my 105 speed rating at Talladega. Wow, that was a heck of a race. That was a heck of a race. In fact, it was such a good of a race, or so good of a race, easy for me to say. We're going to take a look at this last lap one more time. So, it all started when Bowyer pulled off into the pits. That left it up to the duel between me and the 21 car. So you can see, I was pretty far back at this point. You got Casey Kane behind. He wasn't really a factor in this one. Very, very fast speeds here. Once you get up to the front of the pack. Down the back straightaway, still behind him. You can see the pack quite a bit spread out. Obviously, I think people are going to complain about that, but you can see they're fairly packed up there once you get to the wide shot. And then I made the move. Down to the inside of the 21. We were side by side all the way through 3 and 4. I had the lead at this point. I just couldn't clear him. He got a little bit of a side draft. Maybe I should have pulled down to the extreme edge of the track rather than driving him up the track. But regardless, it comes down to this. A very, very close finish. And then I saw smoke in the back, so there was a crash in the back at the end of the race. But wow, let's see if we can't see that finish a little bit closer. That's the finish coming across the line. But that's not quite the finish camera we want. I saw one. Here we go. And across the line. Just that close. Let's see if we can't get a better camera angle on that. Yeah, there you go. There is the finish. It was just that close between myself and Ryan Blaney. See if we can't slow-mo it here as we're coming through the tri-oval. Bouncing off of each other. This is when Blaney finally ends up taking the lead and the win. As I turned, you know what I shouldn't have done? I shouldn't have turned back up into him. I think that may have been what truly ruined my chance of winning this thing. I think the race would have been closer, but of course second place is still second place regardless of whether you finish, you know, a mile behind or that close behind. But pretty exciting race. Pretty exciting race, I must say. So thank you guys so much for watching this fun race. Maybe I'll do more if this is popular and people enjoy it. So thank you guys so much for watching. This has been David Land on YouTube, and we'll see you in the next video.